Let me see if this thing works. I never use StreamYard. Let me see if this is a problem. Let's see if this thing works. Come. Alright, let's do it. Come. Shalom, shalom, brother Shy. With the servants, Rhode Island, man. You know what I'm saying? Shabbat shalom. We're about to get in to this quick little lesson real quick. Right, about being unequally yoked. You know? There's a lot of you know, um, diversity, I guess you could say, going on in Israel, whatever, and brothers getting itchy ears, going to different doctrines, different camps, so on and so forth. That's not the topic of this, but brothers just wanna be steadfast to what they believe in, staying firm, especially when you're in a congregation, you know what I'm saying? And you've been laboring with a certain amount of brothers, or with specific brothers for a certain amount of time. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be tossed to and fro. You know, you wanna stick to what you believe in and what you know. You know what I'm saying? Let me actually get that real quick, that classic real quick in Ephesians. It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, and verse number 14. It says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. And that's going on right now in Israel. It's a lot of men coming up with different doctrines, persuading men that believed in one thing for a long time, and all of a sudden they got them believing in something else. Things like that happen. It was already written. And you don't want to be that, like a child, tossed to and fro. You over here, you over there. It's written that we can't do childish things no more. Let me get that real quick, right? Right. Um, 1 Corinthians 13. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, and verse number 11. It says, "When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child, thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things." So when coming in this truth, you have to be a man. You know what I'm saying? We know keeping the commandments is being a man. Not being double-minded is being a man. So you can't move and act like a child and thing. Chiefly, in context, what we're going into is, you know, doctrine, being having your foundation. You gotta have a steady foundation, right? And a lot of that, and my point in bringing this out, starting this live with that is because, there'll be a lot of tension or animosity in the nation because brothers are unequally yoked. Um, when you unequally yoked, we know a lot of it going into scripture is more so like brothers in the truth and brothers in the world, or sisters in the truth and sisters in the world, right? But that, you know, plays a big part within the nation as well, not just brothers and sisters in the world and brothers and sisters in the truth, but that also happens just brothers and sisters in the truth and in the truth, being unequally yoked. That's possible. You got brothers that dwelled in the same congregations, the same camps, you know, getting itchy ears, you know what I'm saying, looking into different doctrines and ideologies, um, trying to come up with new damn doctrines and or discoveries and things of that nature, which and that's how brothers end up being all over the damn place like we just read. That's what a child do. We just read the First Corinthians. You got to put those childish things away. This is Second Timothy chapter 4 and verse number 3. It says, "For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine." Right, and that's what's going on right now. Brothers don't know how to just believe in one thing. Brothers like to use the scriptures that knowledge will increase in the latter days and this, that, and the third in the end times, and it's like that's not. We understand that, but new doctrines won't. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord has a steady foundation for us. The Lord has a steady doctrine for us to follow and be committed unto. Not that brothers don't discover new things or gain more understanding, but it's like some things just be off the wall, or brothers just go completely left with their doctrine. You know what I'm saying? It says, "For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itchy ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables." And that's what's going on right now. Brothers get itchy ears. What's going on over here? I done dug this deep into the Bible. This is this deep, dark secret of parable. This is what this means. Or, it's a bunch of madness. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know how to just sit the hell down. And that's what happens. They don't know how to sit the hell down. But this is what happens when you try to, let me get this in Sirach real quick, Salakia. Right. Let me get this in Sirach real quick. Forgive me, the famous Apocrypha. All right, I need a new one. This is Sirach chapter 3 and verse number 21. It says, "Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength." And brothers tend to believe that they've been in this thing for a few years and, they the damn top scholar, top teacher, top researcher, top historian, top prophet, etc. You know what I'm saying? And, there's things that are still too hard for every brother. Got a different lot. And the Lord didn't set up to where every brother is equal. Every brother ain't, set above certain churches. Every brother ain't even a teacher, you know? So when you have brothers, searching out things that are too hard for thee or things that are above their strength, it tends to bug them out. You know what I'm saying? You got to basically stay in your lane, what Sirach is saying. You got to stay in your lane. Eat what's sufficient enough for you. Because if not, then that's how you're going to bug yourself out and get tossed to and fro, be here, be there. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to kick it off with that. You know what I'm saying? But let's get right into this thing, man. Let me get the book of 2 Corinthians. Yeah, my Bible is all over the place, man. All right, this is the book. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse number 14. And it reads, Be ye not equally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness?" Right? So it says to be not unequally yoked with unbelievers. And Paul is he's quoting Deuteronomy, which I'm gonna get. Deuteronomy 22. I'm gonna get it. But it says, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. And those unbelievers could be in the world and even in this truth. Once again, I'm not calling shots to no specific brother, no specific camp. This is just generalized, but this is just the top example in my mind. You got brothers who claim to be in the truth who believe in, OT only, or brothers who still there's actually brothers in this truth who still believe in the truth, who still believe you could eat pork and unclean foods and things of that nature. So when it says unbelievers, it's not only just talking about people in the world who don't believe in Yahweh Shai, don't believe in Aaron Israelite. This goes into whoever just don't believe in what you believe, the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. And you don't want to try and strive with these men, right? It's okay to um not be with somebody who don't believe what you believe in, man. Even if that's your right hand man's, you came in this thing together and then he started getting itchy ears, or he started believing in something different. You're not bound to that man. You're not bound to a brother you came in this thing with, or a brother you've been in the same camp with for years. If brothers start becoming or believing in something else, and there starts becoming friction or whatever the case may be, the Lord says be unequally yoked with them. It says, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? Once again, you know, in the world, they're not keeping the commandments. So you can't even be yoked with these men or women. That's why it's truly saying unequally yoked. Y'all are on two different pages. But once again, even your brothers and sisters in this truth, if they on a whole different path, you got a brother who believes he don't got to wear his fringes. He don't got to be reminded to keep the law. He could still eat that swine, or he don't believe in the Lord anymore. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the hell the case may be, you kind of got to depart from that man. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to cut him off, but you can't be trying to strive with them. It's not gonna work. We're gonna get that in Deuteronomy. Why Paul's saying this? It says, "And what communion hath light with darkness?" Right? They don't go hand in hand together. Light and dark, they're not. There's no communion with them. Light is the light for a reason, and the dark is the dark for a reason. They both have separate jobs, right? They both have separate responsibilities. Let's get this real quick in Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse number 10. Right, Deuteronomy chapter 22. We could start at we'll start at verse 9. Right, verse 10 is my point. It says, Deuteronomy 22 and 9, thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. So, this is an actual law that we had to keep, excuse me. You couldn't put a damn apple seed in a banana seed, in the same damn hole or whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? And then start putting the dirt on it and water it and whatever the case may be. That's off. I'm saying you can't try and mingle your fruit and your seeds and create different plants and species and things of that nature. That was a law, right? Verse 10, thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together. So that was a law. You can't sit here and um plow your vineyard with an axe and with an ox and an ass. Forgive me, Salakia. The ox is stronger than the ass. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna eventually, while it's plowing, it's gonna end up damn killing the ass. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna kill that donkey. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot stronger. It's gonna thrive more. And this is why Paul brought that out in 2 Corinthians 6, right? That's why he brought that out in 2 Corinthians 6, because that's being unequally yoked. You can't have a ox and forgive me. You can't have an ox and an ass plowing. You gotta have the same animal. You know what I'm saying? So they are equally yoked. They think alike. They have the same mind. They have the same strength. They thrive with one another, right? So it says, "Thou shalt not plow with an axe." Slakia, I keep mixing these damn words. An ox with an ass together, right? So that's how you gotta think in this truth when it comes to your brothers or even men in the world. You can't. You can't be unequally yoked. It's not gonna work. The Lord got it set up that He put certain men around you. We're gonna get in this, right? We'll grab the next precept. A book of Amos, classic. Amos chapter 3. Right, this is the book of Amos chapter 3 and verse number 3. It reads, "Can two walk together except they be agreed?" Right, classic. Brothers know that. Can two men walk together if they don't believe in the same thing? If they don't agree, it's kind of rare. And that's why the Lord put it on certain men's spirits to set up different camps. Forgive me. To set up different camps, different spirits, different doctrines, right? Because not every single man is gonna believe in the same thing. Because imagine if, you got the servants, Sakari, HOI, GMS, IUIC, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. We all believe in different things, but we all try to be one camp. There would be so much division, right? There would be so much static going on in that one camp. We wouldn't thrive. Brothers would not prosper in the way they prosper, right? It wouldn't work out. One brother over here believes in a new moon is full moon is new moon. One brother over there believes in, the lunar. Another brother over here believes in Friday to Saturday. Another brother over here believes in this and that, and it would be all hell in that church. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord got it where He put it on different men's spirits to, go your way if you believe in something different, or go that way. Nevertheless, these are still righteous men keeping the law. There's brotherhood over breakdowns over here. We still love one another. We gather together. But when it comes in depth about doing this work, sometimes brothers just got to go their own way. You know what I'm saying? Let me get this real quick. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the scenario or the circumstance. If it's a righteous man still thriving, who was it? It was Paul and Barnabas, right? They parted ways. Paul and Barnabas, I forgot who the hell was the dead man. Right, let me get it real quick. Right, Paul and Barnabas, they were doing the work, and Barnabas wanted to bring I forgot who it was. I don't want to say John, but he brought Barnabas wanted to bring somebody along. It was John, and Paul didn't want to labor. Paul was like, I'm not laboring with John. John did his dirty last time, whatever the case may be. And Barnabas was like, look, this is who I want to labor with, and brothers with their own way. Barnabas went with John, and Paul went with Timotheus, I believe, Timothy. In Acts, let me get that real quick. Acts 15. This is Acts chapter 15 and verse number 35. It says, Paul also and Barnabas continued in Antioch, teaching and preaching the word of the Lord, with many others also. And some days after, Paul said unto Barnabas, let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord, and see how they do. And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark. But Paul thought not good to take him with them, who departed from them from Pamphylia, and went not with them to the work. So Paul's speaking that Paul's basically saying, I don't want to do the work with him because last time we went to camp, he kind of just left out on us. You know what I'm saying? He kind of just took off and did his own thing. You know what I'm saying? And let's read on. So Paul didn't want to want that to happen again, basically, right? So he didn't want to do the work with John. It says, and the contention was so sharp between them. So Paul and Barnabas, there was real contention. It wasn't just I want to do the work with them. No, I don't want to. No, it probably got heated. These is grown men, Israelites, you know, having a real discussion about labor. Barnabas was probably standing 10 toes. He was standing 10 toes for his brother John. Paul was like, "Yo, I'm not doing it." So you got to look at it like real life situation. And it reads, and the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder, one from the other. And so Barnabas took Mark and sailed unto Cyprus. And Paul chose Silas and departed, being recommended by the brethren unto the grace of God. So Paul went with Silas, and then that's Salaki, and then Timothy joined later on. But Paul went with Silas, and Barnabas went with John Mark. You know what I'm saying? And it was real contention. It was real. It was a heated argument. To the point where they split. They said, "I'm good. I'm not. I don't want to do the work with you. That's who you're gonna go with, by all means." So even in that moment, they was unequally yoked. You know what I'm saying? Was the split necessarily a bad thing? Nah. Barnabas went on his side to preach and do his thing. The word was still getting pushed. Paul went. Obviously, we know what Paul did. The work was still getting done, pushed out. So, not that it's always a bad thing, because even that happened. We know what happened with One West. You know what I'm saying? And look what came out of it. All these major camps, minor camps, etc., so on and so forth. But the point is, don't try and force something to be unequally yoked with someone who's not on the same page as you or on one accord, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa, right? Let me get this real quick. This is the book of John. I'm just getting straight to the point. Chapter 17 and verse number 11. And it reads, and now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. And I come to thee, Holy Father, keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are. And this is Yahushua letting it be known, brothers got to be as one, just like the Lord is one with his Father. Not that he is his Father, but if you have ears to hear, he is. He comes in the spirit of Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? He comes and fulfills his Father's will. You know what I'm saying? He has the same spirit as him, man. And the Lord's letting it be known, just like me and you are one, just like me and you are on one accord, we walk together and we do be agreed, we're equally yoked. Yahweh is letting it be known, I want these men to be as one as well, just like me and you are. And that's what the Lord's saying out of his own mouth. You know what I'm saying? He expects us to be one. And it may not always go that way with the people you want to be one with. Once again, he put the spirit on men to set up different camps, different this, different that. And brothers are still thriving. Brothers is still pushing this truth, doing the work. Their fruits are showing. We still finding out we Israelites. Know what I mean? So it's not like it's a disadvantage, but when strife gets in the way, when contention gets in the way, when things start to go downhill for one or both parties, then that's when it's a problem. At the end of the day, we might be set up in different camps and congregations, but we're all still one, as in keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and believing that we Israel, right? Once again, brotherhood over breakdown. You know what I mean? But breakdown still plays a part, because you can't be unequally yoked, like I mentioned earlier. You know what I'm saying? A lot of camps didn't thrive together chiefly over breakdown. and doctrine. So that's why the Lord set it up the way He did. But brothers still got love for one another. Brothers still communicate, chop it up, link up, still have unities. And we just know that there's boundaries, right? There's boundaries that brothers don't cross, right? This is the book of Judges, chapter 20, and verse 1. It goes, Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was gathered together as one man. And I brought this out last Shabbat at camp. We're all still a representation of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We gotta always keep that in the forefront of our minds. Before your camp, before your nation, we're a representation of the Lord. And we also gotta, and once again, we gotta understand, just so we read in John 17, Yahushua said to make us as one. When you read here in Judges, it says, Then all the children of Israel went out. It didn't say the servants. It didn't say this camp, that camp. It said all the children of Israel went out. And the congregation was gathered together as one man. We're all a representation of one another. Right? When this group of Israelites over here start acting a damn fool, it makes us seem like we all do that. When this group of Israelites over here preach this and do X, Y, and Z, it makes us all seem like that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we're all still a representation of the Most High and His Son. And we all gotta come to that conclusion and realize that comes before the camp, the church, the nation, etc. And those still play a big factor. You still represent your camp, your congregation, your nation, etc. But remember, we all still Israelites at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So, let me get this real quick. You know what I'm saying? So, brothers gotta remember how to carry themselves. If you disagree with one another, brothers can't force something, man. Being unequally yoked, brothers don't want that. If we could all be one big happy camp, and preach the same thing, whatever it may be, forgive me, that would be a blessing. But it's, some brothers are unequally yoked in this thing, and we just can't do that. This is, I'm in the wrong book. Chapter. Right, this is the book of I ain't gonna pull that. Let me get this. This is the book of Philippians, chapter 2, and verse number 2. And it reads, Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. So, once again, we have to be like-minded. You know what I'm saying? Chiefly the brothers you labor with. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna get along. Everybody ain't gonna believe in the same thing. And that's why you go your way and I go my way. But for the brothers you do labor with, and communicate with, and do this work with, it's very important that you have the same spirit, being like-minded, being on one accord. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been reading throughout the scripture. You can't be unequally yoked with brothers you labor and you stand on that line with, or you do the work with. You can't. It's gonna cause too much division, like it did with Paul and Barnabas. That caused them to split. You gotta think the same, move the same, use our representation also of one another. Not just the Lord and the Most High, but of one another in the camp you do labor with. That's real important, because God forbid, you on that line with another brother. This brother's teaching, yeah, we got to keep the lunar Sabbath. And, he's teaching us the lunar Sabbath, da 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 da. And, you get on the line next, and it's Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. And let's say it's brothers brothers seeing it all throughout the community. Brothers will be on the line teaching. The sheep still bear witness to the word. They'll stick around most I won't for most of the camp, etc. Even listen to the next teacher. So let's say that brother's teaching, he teaching the sheep for 20, 30 minutes. Then you get on that line and that sheep still wants to stay in 10. He's teaching the lunar. You get on, well, I know he said this, sis, so I know he said this, brother, but, you know, it's really Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. The sheep's going to be looking at you like, oh, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? It's going to throw them left. And it's going to just it's going to make the camp look bad. It's going to make the Lord look bad. It's going to make the brother, you and the brother look bad. It's too much confusion going on. And the Lord's not an author of confusion. We know that. Right? So you got to be like-minded. You know what I'm saying? And be on one accord. Brothers know what they believe in. Brothers know what they teaching. If not, y'all can't dwell together. And when I say dwell, I mean as far as labor, right? I don't want to make this lesson too long, right? So brothers got to keep that in mind when doing this work, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot of it plays on the brothers trying to start getting them itchy ears and seek these different doctrines and just trying to find something new, trying to find something exciting. They want to be that one brother that fulfills prophecy or discover this. That ain't everybody's lot. Stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't gonna say too much, right? Like I said, I'm gonna get an account in Joshua, but like I said, that what you do, teach, and who you live with, that could affect everybody. Right? We're gonna get an account of that in the book of Joshua. Right? Let me get this in Joshua, chapter 7. I'm gonna start at verse 16. Right? Let me read this account real quick. It says, so Joshua chapter 7, verse 16, it says, so Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes. And the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought the family of Judah, and he took the family of the Zarhites. And he brought the family of the Zarhites man by man. And Zabdi was taken. And he brought his household man by man. And Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was taken. And Joshua said unto Achan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. So he knows that his son did something, right? Achan did something, and Joshua had the discernment to be able to know that. So he's telling him, confess, what the hell did you do, man? Like, what you got going on, right? It says, verse 20, and Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord, God of Israel, and thus have I done. So this Joshua was a righteous man. It was him and Caleb chosen, right, to lead Israel. Right, we know what went on, and they're supposed to be all on one accord. You know what I'm saying? And you got his son Achan going behind his back doing something, right? So let me see real quick, Salakia. Right, so you got his son Achan, behind his back doing something, right? And we're gonna read and see what the hell he did. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what happens when you're not on one accord and like-minded. Right, you got Joshua leading. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing for the nation, for the congregation, right? And then you got his son moving, being sneaky behind his back, and he just confessed his sin. So we're gonna read what the hell he did, right? It says, when I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonian garment and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight. Then I coveted them and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. So he stole. Right? They were spoils, but they weren't spoils for him to just take and keep it to the face. You know what I'm saying? He took a, forgive me, Salakia. Um, he took that Babylonian garment, he took them 200 shekels, and he hid him under his tent, kind of took him like no one would know. Right? It says verse 22. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua, and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord. So you got to understand, like whenever we do things like this, it's, we always say we give him all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. And even when it comes to these spoils and these things that after we defeat and conquer these other nations, it's up to the Lord to gift us and decide what we do with it. You know what I'm saying? We don't just do whatever, or He'll put it in their spirit. So yo, here, take it. Just like when we were literally walking out of the land of Egypt, we took all their gold and all their spoils. This is something of the Lord. But for you to just take it secretly and keep it for yourself or whatever the case may be, the spirit behind it ain't righteous. And what am I trying to say? The spirit behind it ain't righteous, man. It'll come back to me. Right? Let's read on. Oh, and it came back. And he's not moving in one accord. He's moving unequally yoked because ain't no one else do that. It was only Achan. You know what I'm saying? Let's read on. Verse 24. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, the son of Zerah, and the garment and the wedge of gold, and his sons and his daughters, and his oxen and his asses and his sheep and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, Why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, after they had stoned them with stones. So being unequally yoked can get you jammed up, because not only did Achan died, but he got his father killed. He got his sisters killed. He got the damn cattle killed. He got the damn cattle killed, man. Poor damn sheeps and goats, right? He got everybody killed because he wanted to be unequally yoked and stale. And the Lord judged not only him, but his household, his parents, siblings, cattle, right? So they got stoned and burned. So being unequally yoked can also cause some damage to you and the people around you. You know what I'm saying? And that's not always good. It's not good at all. It's never good. You want to be on point with the men you walk with, the men you labor with. If there is disagreements, you can talk about it. It don't always got to be heated or controversial. But you got to watch how you do things, how you move, man. And in this instinct, he did something behind his people's back, and it costed not only his life, but his family's life, man. And that's why being equally yoked is so important in this truth, because you can sink the whole ship with just one action, with just one move. That everybody else is wondering why the hell the ship is sinking. You know what I'm saying? And lo and behold, you then did something that no one else agreed with. No one else wanted to partake in. And now everyone got to pay for your actions, for your sins. You know what I'm saying? So let me get this verse real quick. All right. Um This is Sirach chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at verse 7. It reads, "If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man, for some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble." So we all know that classic, right? Prove a friend first, man. You don't want to be too hasty to credit a man because he's an Israelite and got fringes. Well, what the hell does that man believe? How's his spirit? How does he treat his household? How does he treat his brothers? How does he treat the nation? How does he represent the Lord? You gotta prove brothers first, right? And then it proceeds to say, "For a man is a friend for his own occasion." This is kind of what we just read in Joshua, right? He kind of made a decision based on he wanted some shekels. He wanted to be up a few dollars and look fly with the Babylonian garment or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? This is, but he will not abide within the day of trouble, and the day of trouble was Joshua, Achan getting him and his whole family stoned. He kind of had no choice. You know what I'm saying? He kind of had no choice, but um, and they didn't either. That was the judgment immediately. We're gonna jump down to verse 16. It says, oh, I'm gonna start at 14. 13. I'm gonna start at 13, right? It says, "Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends." Right? And not calling brothers who believe in something else your enemies, but you want to separate from something that's not on one accord with you or like minded. You don't want to be unequally yoked. That can cause you to go down with the rest of the ship. You know what I'm saying? A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such in one hath found a treasure. Nothing doeth countervail a faithful friend, and its excellency is invaluable. A faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him. Here's the point. Whosoever feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright, for as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. And that's the point, man. You don't want to be unequally yoked. As you are, your neighbor should be also. The brother you label with or the sister you label with shall be also. Y'all want to be one mind, one body, one spirit. Y'all want to be on one accord. You want to be like-minded. You want to be equally yoked. Because being unequally yoked causes too much confusion, division, contention. We read it throughout the scriptures, and doing certain things, moving a certain way that the rest of your peers are on can cause the whole ship to sink. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be on point, watch how you move. Watch out for the brothers who are, doing things like having itchy ears, seeking other doctrine that are trying to sink the ship. You gotta watch out for those brothers too. And just make sure you're on one accord. It's not everybody's lot to go diving deep into dark breakdowns and parables and mysteries and this, that, and the third. Don't try and set things too high above thee. Search for things too high above thee. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a different lot. Um, and that'll kind of keep you on the right track. Ask the Lord to pray to the Lord just to keep your mind right. Not to go this way or that way, tossed to and fro like a child. Just trying to stay on point. You know what I'm saying? To stay rooted in this thing. That's the goal. Stay rooted in this thing, man. But I'm gonna close out with that. Giving all praise, all honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Shabbat Shalom. Stay steadfast. Stay firm. Pray for the nation. And, just hold it down, Israel. But with that, call me Ashala.